In this video, I'm going to explain the ins and outs of upgrading hero equipment, the most efficient ways to do so, and then I'm going to talk about my best recommendations for both free-to-play players and spenders. Now, just to clarify, I won't be talking about the specific hero equipment that you should upgrade. That is going to be another video. This video is strictly going to be about the fastest and most optimal ways to upgrade hero equipment in Clash of Clans. Okay, now let's go over the basic things you need to know to properly upgrade your equipment. First things first, all common pieces of equipment have the same price. So if you're upgrading any piece of equipment to level 15, for example, it doesn't matter what equipment it is, the price will be the same. This means that prioritizing certain pieces of equipment as you move forward is going to be really important because you don't want to waste your resources. Also, not all upgrades require the new glowy ore, but I've noticed that the ones that do generally tend to increase the active ability or the damage on the active ability versus the upgrades with the shiny ores, which generally tend to increase the passive abilities a lot more. Now, the total cost of all of the upgrades do add up, and we're going to go through literally each cost of the upgrades, the time that it'll take you, and then the amount that you'd have to spend if you'd want to gem it as well. The chart in the background right now shows the cost per level and the total cost at the end. The total shiny ores needed is 27,260 and the total glowy ores needed is 1,920. But now most of you are probably wondering, how long will it take for you to actually max out a single piece of equipment? To make this calculation, I'm going to use a Town Hall 11 in Gold 1 and a Town Hall 16 in Titans 1, and we're going to assume that these players are winning half of their wars. This results in the following Town Hall 11 results, where the total time to max for a single piece of equipment would be 79 days due to the glowy ore cost. As you can see, glowy ores are the limiting resource when it comes to upgrading hero equipment, so it is really important that you pay attention to how you spend them and then spend them very carefully. Don't be discouraged though, because if we move on to the Town Hall 16, we can see that this time comes down to about 30 days for a single piece of equipment. This means that you can literally max a brand new piece of equipment from level 1 all the way to level 18 in literally 1 month. And to add to this, I think this really just pushes players to rush a lot more. I know we haven't talked a lot about how rushing is affected by this update, and that'll be another video, but with calculations like this, it's hard not to consider to get to the higher levels faster. I also got really curious and wondered how long it would take to max a piece of equipment if a Town Hall 16 was in Legends League and won every single war. The chart in the background shows that the time to max for a single piece of equipment comes down to a blistering 26 days, which is really fast. And just a reminder, this time to max is just for a single piece of equipment that starts at level 1. It doesn't consider the levels you might already have from before the update. Also, I'm fully aware that a Town Hall 11 is not able to have max equipment because you have to be Town Hall 14 to have the blacksmith level 7. The point of this is just to show a little bit of a comparison of how players are getting their ores and the rate they're getting their ores at between a higher level player and a lower level player. Now, naturally at this point you must be wondering, should you upgrade a single piece of equipment or should you be upgrading multiple pieces of equipment at the same time? Now, in the graph in the background, you guys can see that there was a very sharp increase in the amount of shiny ores that were contributing in the early levels until we hit about level 8, where things really flatten out. And I've done a little bit of the numbers in the background, and I'm just scrolling through it casually in the back so you guys can see, but basically most of the old hero abilities that we had, they pretty much go at a linear rate. However, the new abilities that we have, they go about to level 8 or 9, and then they actually get better over time. This can help you avoid that initial investment time and then start to get into that time where you're getting a lot more for your ore investment. Instead, what I would try to do is try to pick 1 or 2 upgrades that you really want to have and then go forward in those hero equipment upgrades. This will allow you to have relatively high hero equipment levels really quickly, and this is actually kind of nice because we already have the old levels that we had on our heroes, so while we're investing into the new pieces of equipment, we can just use those. Now, there's actually another way that we can become extremely efficient in our upgrades. Remember from this chart that the limiting resource is actually glowy ores because they're the ores that take a longer time to collect at the later levels. Because of this, you're going to have a lot of excess shiny ores. Now here's where you can be a little bit extra efficient in my opinion. Every time that you're waiting on glowy ores for a specific upgrade, you're going to have excess shiny ores. What I would do with those extra shiny ores is take them and invest them into other pieces of equipment that don't require glowy ores. Because you're waiting on the glowy ores for your main upgrade anyway, this isn't slowing you down at all. It's just making all of your other hero equipment just a little bit better in the meantime. By doing this, you'll have a head start into another piece of equipment by the time the one that you're trying to max is finished. So in summary, invest all of your ores into a single piece of equipment. And if you have any excess shiny ores while you're farming the glowy ores still, then just invest those into some of the other smaller upgrades. However, you might notice that not all abilities can be maxed right away. In fact, the max level for all the common hero equipment so far can only be achieved at Town Hall 14, so you'll have to wait a little bit to invest into those pieces of hero equipment. That being said, most of you know that I already recommend rushing for maximum efficiency, and as if we didn't have enough reasons to rush, we have yet another reason for us to do that. Now in the time reduction video, I already broke down how we want to get to Town Hall 14 as fast as possible, because this is where we get the best usage out of our magic items. And the hero equipment upgrade really just reinforces that concept, because we want to get to Town Hall 14 now to max our hero abilities. And with the new hero potion rework as well, the only thing holding a rushed player back from being an absolute beast of an account is just a few pieces of strong hero equipment. So if you really want to make the most of that equipment, get to the higher level fast. Moving on, a lot of people were concerned about the gem cost and how easy it would be to upgrade your equipment with gems. I did the math on that as well, and as you can see, it would cost a lot of gems. In fact, 36,000 gems in total for us to actually be able to gem one piece of equipment. That's about $250 worth of gems, so it's not happening often. In fact, this might be one of the worst ways to spend gems now in Clash of Clans. It is something I would never do. Okay, now a lot of you might be wondering at this point, BD, what equipment should I upgrade and what things should I invest my resources into? To be honest, at this point it's really hard to tell. Even with some really good API data courtesy of Clash Ninja, I haven't been able to chart anything and find any really good trends to be able to give you guys advice yet. And to be honest, we don't have much to work with because most players don't have all of those pieces of a hero equipment maxed, and that'll only happen with time. However, I do have a tip for you guys until we start to see some type of meta developing. First of all, upgrade your blacksmith as much as you humanly can. This will allow you to store more ores while we wait for some type of meta to develop. Next, unless you know for sure what to upgrade, save your glowy ores. Remember that glowy ores are the limiting factor in every single equipment upgrade, thus this is the factor you need to save if you don't know what to upgrade yet. With all of that being said though, Clash of Clans is still a game, and some of you just want to upgrade a specific piece of hero equipment. I know how you feel. I didn't just upgrade the magic arrow just so I can have gameplay for you guys to see, but I also really wanted to use the magic arrow in my own account. I know most of you really want to be the most efficient as possible, and that's why I made this guide. But if you do want to invest a few shiny ores here and there, I won't tell anybody. Just be careful how you spend those glowy ores though, because that can actually hurt you quite a bit. But look, this entire guide doesn't mean anything for you if you don't know how to get more ores in the first place. And luckily, I have this video right here which will tell you how to get more ores faster in Clash of Clans so that you can start to upgrade your hero equipment a lot faster.